Welcome to Quad Radio as we talk to AMA Pro ATV champion John Natalie, and welcome you to the show, John. And no long introductions here today because I know we got a lot to talk about, man. We've not heard a lot from you. Well, we have heard a few things here and there from you over the off season, but it's been pretty quiet here lately. The only thing we know is John is training, and sounds like John is having fun while he's training as well.
Yeah, we're out at dinner tonight right now, and there's no time like the present to talk to the fans and talk to the people who love quad racing, and that's what we've been doing. We've been down here in Florida just training our butts off and working hard, trying to bring it back and give Can-Am the kind of season that they deserve. They're the only guys out there that are supporting our sport, and we just got to make sure we support them and keep this thing going.
Yeah, for sure, and I know that that's one of the things you're dedicated to. This is a sport that's given you a lot over the course of your life. I mean, this is your second national ATV championship like this with the AMA Motocross Nationals, and I know that I think we've talked about this before. I know the first one was pretty sweet, but it seems like the second one's been pretty sweet for you as well.
Yeah, like I've said in the past, you're only champion for maybe a day. And it's time to start doing it again for the next year. And, being the competitor that I am, it's, I'm out to win every race. It's, after you win the championship, you still want to win every race and everything that you do. I live for the competition, and I got great friends and everybody that help me out all the time and keep me pushing and keep me working hard. So, it's the fans and my friends that keep me going and keep me doing what I love to do.
And speaking of friends, I understand that you're hanging out with several of your friends right now down in Florida. Who are those guys, and where are you guys at?
Well, we got Kyle Fitz and Luke Shepard and Chuck Lloyd, and we got, of course, my wife Michelle, and a lot of guys down here just working our butts off. Right now, we're sitting at the Japanese restaurant eating some good carbohydrates, getting ready for tomorrow to go to the gym. We've been hitting the gym at 8 in the morning and sitting there till noon, and then we're ready to ride the rest of the day. And of course, then anybody that's into this the way we are, you work on the bikes the rest of the night.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot of your own work. I actually talked with your mechanic, last year's mechanic. I assume he's going to be this year's mechanic, Casey Greek, there earlier today, and he was telling me that he's out in California working right now, and he plans on heading down that way in February.
Yeah, it's awesome having Casey as my mechanic. That's one of the things that a lot of people forget is how hard that your mechanic actually works whenever you're out there working so hard for everybody. You're out there and all they see is what you're doing on the track, and they forget about what the mechanic's doing back there when he's got that little bit of time in between motos when he's tearing the bike completely apart, putting it back together, and sweating and, worrying about the time that he has. And I guess the racers are the ones that get all the glory, but, you got to give it up for the mechanics. Mechanics work their butts off, too.
Yeah, and there's a great crew of mechanics that travel with the Outdoor Nationals, it seems like, and it's pretty neat to get to know those guys and the personalities that they have developed over the years. I know Casey's got a pretty, mischievous personality in some ways. He seems to be a lot of fun to be around.
Yeah, he's a blast to be around. He's definitely mischievous for sure, but it's in a good way. And I think that Johnny Leach and the Motorworks crew, are blessed to have him, and he's definitely an asset to the team and an asset to the Can-Am, the whole Can-Am project of what they got going on. I mean, he's got tons of good ideas. He works hard on everything. He makes sure that the bike is good day in and day out. And anytime I need him, of course, when I'm down here by myself, I'm working on the bike all the time. But any questions I got, with the 3-hour difference, I call him at 7 o'clock here, and we're at 4 o'clock out in California, and within minutes I have an answer to my question. So it's whether he's sleeping or awake, he's always there for me. So he's a great guy, a good friend, and a great mechanic.
That's great, John. I know you guys are having a lot of fun and everything down there. What tracks are you guys racing at? I mean, do you guys have like some top secret compound down there, or are you guys just traveling around the different tracks?
Yeah, we've been traveling around the different tracks. I mean, Glenn Knox from Hard Rock in Ocala, Florida, he's been the guy that's been hooking us up. He's been helping us out a ton. So that's our main, I guess that's our base of operations. I mean, we've been driving around to like Pax Track and other places, and as we get in shape, we're going to start moving to different tracks and moving even more places.
That's great. Now, have you been crossing paths with anybody down there, any of the other top guys?
Not too much. I mean, we've seen Chad Weenan and Thomas Brown, a couple of guys up at Reddick, but they were running a race. I didn't run the race. I just did the practice and just kind of keep my eyeballs out and check out the competition. And we've seen Chris Borch and a couple, Johnny Gallagher and a couple of the other guys from the cross-country side over there at the Pax Track. But for the most part, it's just, just my crew down here with Kyle Fix and Doug Lloyd and Luke Shepard and the rest of the guys that are down here helping us out.
Now, I know with a crew like that, John, it can't be a dull moment for you guys.
Yeah, there's never a dull moment. I mean, Kyle's always got something smart ass to say, so it's pretty fun with him. And then he got shots. Like, his dad told me the first time I met him, he says, you know how you can tell when Duck's lying? I was like, well, how's that? He says, his lips are moving. So we got Duck here, he always keeps it exciting. And Luke, well, we won't even go there. Luke's just here. No, he's a good guy. We got a lot of really good guys, and we actually got Cody Suggs with us too. We call him the Slugs, but he's a good guy too. He's been around, and we've been helping him out as much as we can. And we're actually doing the CHAMP. It's C dot period, yeah. C period, H period, A period, M period, P period. The champ workout. We've been working on that this year.
Oh yeah, what's that consist of?
Oh, just a lot of riding, a lot of gym work, and a lot of training, and of course a lot of smart aleck comments from my boys here.
So, what's been? Give us a little taste of some of the antics that you guys have been pulling out there. I mean, have you done anything to these guys that's worthy of passing along to us? I've been just trying to treat these guys right, and then trying to bring them along and make them champions in their own class. I mean, nobody. When it comes to motocross, nobody can do it but you, and that's the kind of thing that I try to teach these guys. If you ever cheat or you give up, you're cheating on yourself and giving up on yourself. And these guys are pretty good. They work hard, and even when they're tired, they just keep on working. And it's great because they help me as much as I help them. Because without them, I wouldn't be able to push near as hard as I do, and I don't think I'd be the guy that I am today without my friends and my so-called racer family that I have with me. Yeah, and that's true, and I'm glad you bring up a point like that, John. I mean, what I think is really neat about it, I mean, I know that you've got a lot of friends in the pro class, and, a lot of times it seems like people forget about those that, were with them along the way, in the good years, in the bad years, maybe, just stood behind you from a fan standpoint at one point, or just a riding buddy or something like that. That's really cool that, I mean, you don't have to train by yourself or with specific people. I mean, it seems to me like you've got open arms for everybody. I mean, you're just like, come on, man, let's do this. Let's all be the best we can be.
Well, and that's the thing is I've been blessed with my family and the way that my parents have taken care of me, and of course my wife and my daughter and my friends that are with me. I've never had to worry about not having somebody there to have my back. I've always had these guys here to always be there for me and help me with what I need. My bike breaks, I got 3 guys over there to help me work on it, help me fix things, and I try to keep that going. I try to pass it on to people. I've been blessed with Can-Am and with Johnny Lee from Motorworks and everybody that's been there for me. So I just try to make sure that I pass everything on to these guys. I mean, I've been blessed with it, so I want these guys to know what it's like coming up. These kids that are coming up, I want them to have the opportunities that I've had, and to be able to do the things that I've done, and be able to go, hey, I get to wake up tomorrow and go ride a quad for a living. So I'd love to see that for a lot of these guys. I mean, it's getting harder and harder as the economy gets worse, but I hope we can bring it back around and these are some of the hardest working people in any kind of sports. I mean, these are the hardest working athletes that I've been around, and I hope it just pays off for these guys and gives them a chance to be in the position that I've been in.
John, speaking of the position you've been in, the position you're in, and so forth, let the listeners out there in Quad Radio, some may be very familiar with the Ironman John Natalie story. Some may not know it at all. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you got into ATV racing, and basically how you got to where you are today.
Well, I'm from a little place called Houseville, Pennsylvania. I moved to Warriors Park with my wife, Michelle, and my daughter, Lexi, and we have a nice little house there. And, just as I was growing up, that's all I known is hard work on a farm and working with my parents, working in a restaurant, and, working in a recycling yard. So, I've came to appreciate everything that comes along. And I was able to get into racing. Some of my friends raced, and I was able to get into racing. And it was something that I was good at, something that nobody can take anything away from you. If you worked hard enough, you could do well. And, you didn't have to depend on teammates. You didn't have to depend on a lot of the other things. So you depend on yourself. And, it's kind of nice knowing that the harder you work, the better you're going to do. And like I said, a lot of really, really good friends along the way and a lot of help from my family and of course, all the sponsors in the past. I got to thank every single one of them that came along and helped me.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if you have to look back at it, when was the first time you ever rode an ATV, and when was the first time you ever raced an ATV?
Again, I started riding when I was 3 years old on three-wheelers, so I don't really remember all that, but I remember the first time I ever raced a quad, Field City, Pennsylvania. It was a Banshee, an 87 Banshee, and I come out, and I think I was running third, and I was going really well, and of course I didn't know nothing about ATVs then, and my bike was all stock, and I came over some big jumps coming down a hill and bent an axle and crashed, and ever since that day I've been hooked.
Did you ever dream the first time you signed your name on the dotted line, so to speak, there at Rider Registration at Steel City, that you would be where you are now? 2 AMA ATV national championships and some other pro national championships. I remember the WPSA championship and such. I mean, to travel the road that you traveled, did you ever expect to be traveling that road?
No, I never dreamed it would be this amazing, never be this perfect. I mean, to be able to wake up in the morning and go, hey, I get to ride a quad. And by no means is it easy. I mean, it's a 7 in the morning until midnight, sometimes later job, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And I only wish that I could have a day and given these other people that want that chance to be able to give them the opportunity to do this, because it's an amazing way to live life. And it's awesome that my wife is who she is and does what she does. And I couldn't ask for a better life. I couldn't ask for better fans. ATV Motocross has the best fans, period. I mean, these guys are great. And whether you're a fan of John Natalie or you're a fan of Chad Weenan or who you're there for, it doesn't matter. You're a fan and you love ATVs, and that's what I live for. So as far as I'm concerned, a fan is a fan, and you're a friend of mine.
All righty, man. That's awesome. You're a true, I guess you could say, icon of the sport. You've definitely showed a lot of people a lot of different times that hard work can definitely pay off. John, I want to thank you for everything that you've done for ATV Motocross and ATV racing in general, and it's great. We'll be checking in with you again before the season starts, but again, just thanks for all that you do, and good luck, man.
Thanks, man. I want to say thank you, of course, first off, to my parents for giving me this opportunity, and my wife for putting up with all the stuff that she has to go through for this, and of course, my daughter, Lexi, for having me sit in the car seat for 17 hours at a time while we travel from race to race, and Johnny Leach from Motorworks and DWG. This guy had a lot of heart, believed in me, and just Can-Am for keeping my dream alive. I mean, these are the guys that have kept me going, and I just want to say thank you to everybody up there, from the guys, from the president, the vice president, to the last guy that put the nut on the bike at the assembly line. I just want to say thank you.
There you go. That's John Natalie. I'm Rodney Tomlin. This is Quad Radio.